Gibbs, members of the committee, thank you very much for the invitation to testify today. The subcommittee's focus on decarbonization of shipping is timely. This issue has been under discussion at the International Maritime Organization for a number of years, but the IMO's discussions and actions have become much more focused and urgent in the past 2 years. Mr. Chairman, as you referenced, in 2018, the IMO adopted an initial greenhouse gas strategy, and it has set numeric goals for reduction of greenhouse gases from international shipping. The first goal is a 40% increase in efficiency by 2030. The second goal is a 50% absolute reduction in greenhouse gas emissions by 2050 versus a 2008 baseline. And thereafter, the strategy calls for emissions to be reduced to zero or near zero as soon as possible after 2050. The first goal, the efficiency goal for 2030, can most likely be met by wringing further efficiencies from fossil fuel-powered ships. The second goal, the 2050 goal, will require that we find new fuels and related technologies to replace fossil fuels. That is where the activities in the title of this hearing come into play: investments and innovation. When we examined the progress being made on research and development to move shipping away from fossil fuels, it became clear that the scope of R&D underway today is insufficient to deliver the results that we need for deep-sea vessels. In response to that need to jumpstart R&D, we began work over 2 years ago on a proposal to the IMO to create an industry-funded global R&D program focused on developing fuels and related technologies that can allow shipping to move away from fossil fuels. That work has resulted in a comprehensive proposal that we and 7 other maritime organizations submitted to the IMO last month, and that full proposal has been included with my written testimony. This proposal, if adopted, would create a new body under the IMO that we have called the International Maritime Research and Development Board, or IMRB. Boiled down to its essence, the IMRB would manage a global targeted R&D grant program funded by a mandatory contribution on each ton of fuel burned. Based on current global marine fuel consumption, this should generate between $5 and $6 billion in R&D funding over the next 10 to 12 years. As you will see from my written testimony, we have addressed funding, governance, intellectual property, conflicts of interest, and many other details that have to be gotten right in order to make this proposal work. There are lots of details, but the logic behind why we made this proposal is quite simple. First, it's clear that we have to get beyond fossil fuels in order to make the dramatic cuts in greenhouse gases from shipping that are necessary to meet the IMO's goals. Second, today we do not have the fuels and related systems that we can install on ocean-going vessels to meet those goals. Third, the current level of R&D work is not likely to deliver the necessary fuels and systems in time to meet the IMO's ambitious targets, particularly the 2050 target. And finally, the necessary level of research and development will not simply materialize by itself. So we need to take action now in an organized fashion to make sure that that work gets done. We look forward to working with the United States and other IMO member states to bring the IMRB into existence. Welcome your questions.
Thank you.